G'day YouTube, how the heck are we doing? It is Foul Play here and we're back for some more modern action. So we're going to be taking an unchanged deck list into this league. For anyone new here, we've got our hexproof creatures of Bogle and Glade Cover Scout. We got the Light Paws, which is actually an upgrade from Core Spirit Dancer. This card does provide a turn 3 kill as long as you have 3 mana, 3 1-mana enchantments, and one of those enchantments in hand is Ethereal Armor. Now the deck is pretty well placed into things like Ragavan because we've got Sentinel's Eyes plus a bunch of cheap first strike auras, so that's kind of a nice thing, particularly when on the play. And we've also got the upgrade where we've got Rancor here, and we've got an extra 2 copies in form of Audacity, which is also pretty nice. Other than that, we've got Evasion in the form of Griffspoon and Spirit Mantle. And we've got Totem Armor in the form of Spider Umbra and Sentinel's Eyes. Now, in face of Dress Down, Totem Armor will actually trigger because this is applied to the enchantment, not the creature, and the enchantment will not lose any of its abilities, right? And last but not least, in the sideboard, we have Discard and Burn Hate. We have Creature Hate. We have Artifact and Enchantment Hate. We have Cascade Hate, playing this one on 0, which is kind of nice. And Gadok Teague, which is Hate into Tron, which is a pretty damn strong deck. So a lot of our sideboard will be played for 0 mana as far as we're concerned most of the time. We've got Leyline, Solitude, Force, and Chalice. With just the Gadok Teagues, they're actually costing something. It's a really sweet deck. I hope you enjoyed the video. See you soon for the rest of the league. Alright, so we're on the die roll here with this pretty juicy looking 7 versus Malicious Mac, who has currently mod to 6. Alright, and our opponent has settled on 5 cards. So in the face of most things, this hand should hopefully be okay. Looks like a Flooded Strand, and hey look, we found another 1 mana aura, so we can actually get some pretty good tempo going here. Looks like our opponent has hard yielded for the most of it, so we're going to get a nice little attack with Scout in. Oh, and Steam Vents. This, okay, Ragavan's good. I'm glad this isn't Living End. Living End is a much more difficult matchup. Oh no, our opponent's missed a land drop, and that's a bit of a painful one on their side of things. But we'll just apply all the pressure we can. Go ahead, attack for 6. This should be pretty locked from here. Alright, with that, our opponent has considered the match. Alright, so my assumption is that my opponent is going to be on, is it Murktide? So we can see the Consider there, we can see Steam Vents, wherever the hell that's hiding as well. And you know, a host of pretty good value creatures. Very good permission in the form of Spell Pierce and Counterspell. Card advantage here from Unholy Hit plus Ragavan. Sorry, Expressive Reiteration plus Ragavan, and they've got the removal of Unholy Hit and Lightning Bolt, which wouldn't normally hit us, but in face of Dress Down, it will. Usually they have like 1 copy of Dress Down on the sideboard, unless the meta is shifted, I'm not entirely sure. But there's also like flex slots for Blood Moon, and sometimes also Brazen Borrows in the main board as well. In the sideboard, we can see explosives, more permission, I guess more removal as well. Sometimes like a Ratchet Bomb or something as well. Blood Moon is obviously as well potentially an issue. Alright, against a Blood Moon deck on the draw, we're going to look to bring in some Force of Vigor, and also Solitude's pretty good against A, Ragavan, and B, Murktide. So what we're going to be doing is taking out 2 Light Paws, 1 Spirit Mantle, and 1 Daybreak Coronet. Alright, so this has a pretty nice 7. Our opponent is mulliganing to 6 here. So we do have access to 2 mana. We can play around Blood Moon with our Windswept Teeth. And we get access to, you know, Vigilance plus First Strike, which is very nice into Ragavan. Another thing to note is in the face of Dress Down, our Solitude's an interesting one. In the face of Dress Down, our creatures will still keep the power and toughness the enchantments add to them. They just lose keywords like Hexproof, Flying, First Strike, etc. Alright, so we can see Consider putting Gifts Ungiven to the graveyard, so we could be versing some Gristlebrand shenanigans here. And Electromancer from our opponent now. Okay, I guess it's just Storm. It's not really what I was expecting. Usually Storm, it can be a bit of a rough one. I sort of think we just gamble on Light Pause and then see where we're at after that. If they don't have the Lightning Bolt for Light Pause, it's just really strong. Let's evoke our Solitude now. It's a difficult one to ditch. Hyena Umbra is probably important. I'm going to ditch this Sentinel's Eyes. The Griffspoon is going to be important if they empty the Warrens and get a bunch of Goblin tokens, so we don't really want that to happen. Opponent can gain a couple of life. We'll deal one back with Scout. Alright, our opponent just jams pieces of the puzzle, and we're in a really strong spot now. So it chooses Desperate Ritual, so they have to get an instant or sorcery from it? Yeah, they do. Okay. Well, we're in, yeah, again, a really good spot here. So we can Sentinel's Eyes. Get our Ethereal Armor. Then we can Hyena Umbra here. And if we want to be super safe, we can get Spider Umbra. If not, we can get Rancor. I think guaranteeing the Trample is probably quite good. Alright, so we'll have our opponent dead next turn at this point, and that's through Counter Magic on the Griffspoon. Alright, our opponent concedes the game. It's pretty rare for me to see a Storm deck like this, but it's always nice to take the victory. Knowing that it's Storm, I do like the Solitudes. As we saw, that was very good, removing their Electromancer. You should probably consider Leyline of Sanctity as a card to board in as well. Also, Rest in Peace can be quite useful against them too, buying you like a whole turn. Gaddock Teague, probably less important as is Chalice, and you probably don't want Force of Vigor, although there is the potential for them to Blood Moon you on turn 2 with Desperate Ritual. Alright, so that's it for the match, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a comment down below. And comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. If you want to see more content like this, please consider subscribing. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you then.